you prime examples of things that will get you caught up in your thoughts and feelings or distract you or cause levels and depths of animosity or hostility. And I gave you prime examples of bad environment, poor environment, demonic environment, or a environment that's poisonous or not good for your mental health or emotional health or detrimental to the things that you're trying to do. So in that, we're going to drop the anchor. Okay? So we've caught up on the thoughts and feelings. We've gotten present. So now what we're going to do is plant your feet on the ground and dropping that anchor and that heavy weight. So 1, plant your feet on the floor. Or if you're sitting down, plant your feet on the floor. Okay? Push them down. Notice the floor beneath you supporting you. That is giving you that energy, that light source, that light energy. Like, look out your window. You see the light coming through and shining through, right? So you're not blinded by the light. That light is pouring energy, light energy into you. Okay? So then you're going to push down. You're going to notice the floor beneath you supporting you. So that's just also like the light energy that's coming through the window, right? So that it's going to pour through you. You're going to feel that energy going all the way down from your feet, all the way up. So you're going to feel it from your feet, your knees, your head, and your shoulders. Okay? Notice your entire muscles, the tension in your legs as you push your feet down. So you're going to take that inertia, that tension, just like you feel it in your mind, body, and spirit when you have things that are distracting or that poisonous spirit or the poisonous environment. You're going to push that energy up. Okay? You're going to take the light energy and replace the negative energy, and you're going to have that light energy come through while you're breathing, and you're dropping that anchor of the heavy weight. Okay? So notice your entire body and the feeling of gravity down through your head, spine, legs, into your feet. Then you're going to look around and notice that you can see and hear around you. So we notice what? The air quality. It's getting better. We're noticing that we're mindful of the good things, the light energy coming through the window. We're noticing that the energy from the floor is soaring through the body. Okay? So now you feel that good spirit. You're letting go of that bad spirit, that poisonous environment, that biohazard of a bad environment, demonic spirit that might surround you, that distracting spirit that doesn't keep you present and mindful. Okay? So that's the same as being displaced or in an environment that's not meant for you. Okay? Because you have to remember, environmental stress, you can't always control it, right? You can't control where you're placed at or displaced at, but you can control the variable being present right then. So we've done all the look around. We've done the planting, right? So we planted those seeds of light. So it's come through you. Okay? So in this, we're going to go say, notice the 5 things. This is a simple exercise to center yourself, engage in your environment, practice it throughout the day, especially anytime you find yourself getting caught in your thoughts and feelings or emotional things that cause you to get into rumination or making you feel some type of way. Because part of that is you have to find a way to not ruminate and go around and not connect the dots. You need to connect the dots and then find a way to get the strategies to power through the distractions, the bad spirit, or the bad environment or displacement environment that makes it so not desirable to you. But you have to find a way to overcome and power through it. And then pray until something happens. Okay? So in that, we've paused for a moment. We've looked around, noticed the 5 things. Then we've got to listen carefully and notice the things that you can see and hear. And then after you notice those things, you can feel in contact with your body. For example, the watch against your wrist, your trousers, or if you're a woman, your dress, or if you're a woman that likes pants, you're wearing the pants, right? And you notice that your feet upon the floor, your back against the chair if you're sitting down, and you're noticing the energy has changed. It's changed from that poisonous air energy to a light energy and good air, okay? Good, clean air. So with that, finally, do all the above simultaneously. So now you know the art of being present and getting present. And that's even through COVID, non-COVID, non-essential situations that happen. And with COVID, we're not able to plan like we want to how to feel, but we have to learn how to go and push through it and find a way to deal with our environment, whether the variables are changed overnight or if it's been a long-term situation of displacement, and then you're dealing with the epidemic and pandemic situation and having to go day by day and being present and mindful and then preserving your mental health, your emotional health, and sanity. Okay? I don't mean insanity, but sanity. So in this, we're going to do this, and that's being grateful. And finding things to be grateful about in this time helps. Okay? So get out your pen and pad, and we're going to start writing. So in that, we're going to think, how was my day? We're going to score it from -5 to +5. Then we're going to talk about my progression and successes today. You have to think of 3 things that you have had success and made progress with in the day that are essential. And then sometimes lowering your standards in a time of COVID or pandemic or displacement or environmental disgruntledness or environmental stresses that you can't control the outcome or variable or the people around you, saying being displaced in a place that you don't want to be, or you might be in a hotel or somewhere that just is not ideal. Okay, so with that, lower your standards for that time being. Because when you have higher standards and you're in a place that you don't really want to be at, or around people that you don't really like, or they go out their way to make it a difficult situation for you, you have to find a way to lower your standards or your expectation of people or the variable outcomes of dealing with them or interacting. Okay? So you're going to number that 1 to 3. Then pat yourself on the back. What did you do today that required courage or positive choice that you can make that's consistent with who and what you want to become? Because a lot of times you're going to have to find things or inspirational things that will keep you in a good pentameter or in a good mindset, so you don't poison your mindset with the people around you or distractions or things that do not help you to connect the dots or create levels of stress. Okay, so we've written those things down so far. Think about, what have I learned? Think about, what did you learn about yourself? What inspired you? Who inspires you? Then your goals and intentions in the interim or strategies that you're going to come up with, not self-harm, not self-medicating, not over-drinking or doing anything to the point that you're going to create an issue and that you're going to end up needing to see more of a specialist and get more resources by the time it's all said and done. Okay, so what are your goals and intentions, the actions and thoughts and steps do you take today that move you towards your goals and intentions or post-COVID to recover in such a good way that you won't need as much therapy, or you won't need to have to go and utilize resources or tax resources, whereas someone else might need to use it, because it's going to be long-term effects of this. Like we say, our essential workers or our doctors or our other things like nurses and nurse case managers that are going to have to deal with the influx of people who are going to start having real PTSD, CPTSD and issues from it, or levels of trauma that they're going to end up seeing a lot of psychiatrists, psychologists, or coaches, or people that we partners with at like Don Diva Coaching or imcc.com, who will take clients who are going to be going through this, who are going to have long-term effects, residual effects of having to go through things, and you have to bring them through levels and depths of understanding that you're displaced, or they're coming through caring-orchid.org and saying, I need help, I need resources, and you have to figure out, okay, what's the needs assessment with the client and getting them to understand that, you can get there from here, but it's going to take some time. Let me know exactly what's going on, whether it's finances, if I have to refer you to Don Diva Credit Repair, or if I have to refer you to other resources such as the coaching, and then coinciding all of that to figure out what we can do to get you okay, and figure out where you can get qualified for second chance housing or things like that. Because like I said, COVID puts these variables in action and pandemics that you weren't expecting, so you don't know how a person's paychecks were in the household, if they were living paycheck to paycheck already, and then when someone comes through the doors, you don't know what you're going to be dealing with, and having to do a needs assessment and finding out what the client is having to deal with, and then having to figure out, where do we help you at first, prioritizing that, and then figuring out how to get them to be grateful in the interim of that, and doing these exercises as we're doing right now. So in that's where the goals and intentions come from. Then, what if anything is triggering me today? And then you have to think of yourself, where do I need to be kinder to myself? And that's part of that, being grateful. Be kind to yourself. Understand that there's some things you can't control, like environment or your your outcome variables, but you can at least direct it to a direction that you can kind of guesstimate what you need to be doing, and then doing a strategic plan to counteract anything, the snafus, the what ifs, or the things that make you scream. And then look after you, your family, and then find ways to be gratitude and present in that, and appreciation. 3 things that you are grateful for and appreciate today are essential. Lower your standards, even if it's to go to uh, the charity's bargain bin to go find you some clothes, shoes, or going to the pantry and getting a box full of food until you can get things like emergency SNAP, EBT, and things like that, TANF, all the things and resources that charities have, or being able to refer you over to those services that are there, and that's why you donate to charities. That is why, because when you get vouchers and things like that, you're able to go to a nurse case manager or a social worker, MSW, who's going to be able to take you on further and say, hey, we have this, this, and this. Here's what I can give you based on this stipend. Here's what I can do here, here, and here. And that helps out. It eases the pain. So in there, think about, how's my day? Where do I score it? I'll complete this in my level of writing down what's going on. So we've written all these different things, right? Then you think about, what's the difference in my scores from start to finish, from -5 to +5. We're hoping to have more positives than negatives. And then from there, you have to say to yourself, what else do I want to make note of here? Anything else you may want to record, things that you noticed and that you've reflected, things that you want to do differently tomorrow, because this is not an easy feat to do. This is not easy to lower your standards or expectations, and therefore you want to get to a point that you understand that your situation, your variables are not always predictable. Sometimes they are unpredictable, and sometimes you're going to have to find a way to take the heavy punches and you're going to have to tell life, hold my burr. Although I don't advocate for people to drink when they're going through something, or hold my tea. There is a little bit better, because you get sometimes people who will actually go into levels of self-medication, self-harm, or alcoholism, or things like that, and we end up seeing those type of clients as well. And then you have to refer them to other services, addiction services, and things like that, 12-step programs. And a lot of that is part of what happens when you go through unprecedented, unmitigated things that happen like this. So therefore, I hope this helps you guys in being mindful, or being present rather, and then we're going to work on being mindful the next session and the next exercise in that. So thank you for attending the Caring Orchid Foundation, Caring Orchid Promise Talk radio show on being present and learning how to deal within a time of storm, pandemic, epidemic, or unpredictable variables that come, and finding ways to be successful and being present in those outcomes. So I'm going to take you out of here with some good music, and then we're going to go from there and have a nice day. Thank you for attending.